Glad to have you join us again. It's Business Breakfast on iBrandTV. Let's get talking now on the first conversation segment of the program. Let's tell you that Nigeria's power sector has continued to grow suboptimally below the required level, partially because the commercial framework for the sector has remained an issue. Both grid power sector and other renewable energy options have been calculated to be highly capital intensive, as large amounts of investment are required for acquisition and installation of equipment and machinery, construction of power plants and transmission lines, as well as regular maintenance and upgrade of the equipment and machines to ensure that they meet increasing demands. This is why players and other stakeholders in the sector have sustained advocacy for more incentives, which they believe may impact the commercial framework and aid growth. To discuss more on these and other issues in the Nigerian energy space, I'm now being joined live in our Lagos studio by the technical team lead and business development manager of Rubitech Nigeria Limited, Mr. Timothy Ajayi. Good morning, Mr. Ajayi. It's a pleasure having you join me on the program this morning. Good morning, Mr. Blessed. It is my pleasure to join you as well. Okay, now let's get talking now. We're looking at renewable energy in Nigeria and also the adoption of renewable energy. Now, since the removal of fuel subsidy and hiking electricity tariff, the adoption of renewable energy in Nigeria skyrocketed. And can you talk us through the importance of renewable energy in the country's energy ecosystem? Okay, thank you, Mr. Blessed. The energy requirements by Nigerian, both for residential and business uses, cannot be overemphasized. Yeah. And when we are looking at for Nigeria to be able to electrify its economy sustainably, both the renewable and fossil fuel means of generating power has to be exploited. Now, renewable energy is gaining more recognition because solar specifically is the cheapest form of energy now, and everybody is appreciating that. Sorry to butt in, is solar really cheap at the moment? Well, solar is really cheap at the moment when you are using only the solar. If you are not blending this, if you are not blending solar with other equipment like a battery, it's cheaper. But if you are now bringing in battery into solar system, then battery is more expensive. So it makes the entire solar system expensive. Okay, go ahead to your earlier thoughts. Adoption of renewable energy in Nigeria is gaining more recognition, and everybody is appreciating it because one, solar is the most cheapest form of energy, and it is the most practicable. And it's let me just say, it is the form of energy that anybody can, individual can pull out money to invest in. So that is why it's gaining more recognition. Both businesses and residential customers are now looking into the solar side. So now, the reason why solar is gaining more recognition is because one, the fuel subsidy has been removed, and then the electricity tariff is increasing, and then even though electricity tariff is still a little cheaper, but it's not available. So people are now turning to solar because of its reliability. At least you can be sure that as long as there is sun, you have the potential to get energy from sun. Then, so when the sun goes down, then you can now be looking for other source of energy that you can use to augment your daily activities, your productivity, and the rest. So I think that's why solar is gaining more recognition. Have I been able to answer that question? You have, but one thing I'm really concerned about here that you made mention of is the pricing and also the affordability of solar. For someone like me now, since the removal of fuel subsidy, I've rationed the times and days I have to turn on my gen at home, and that's because of the price of fuel at the moment is far too high than what it used to. Before now, with 2,000 I can fill the tank of my generator, but now 2,000 naira is nowhere half the tank of my generator. And then people are now shifting focus now to solar. And you did make mention about solar coming with batteries, which makes it more expensive, and solar without battery is quite cheap. Can you share more light into that and how Nigerians can begin to see the need for them to shift to solar powered electricity for their homes and businesses?
Okay, thank you again. Let's look at it in the global sector.
All right.
The production cost of renewable energy equipment is coming down globally, but we have not been enjoying that price reduction in Nigeria due to forex exchange rate and currency depreciation.
Okay.
Instead, the components and the rest are increasing in pricing. Now, this is how the Nigerian people can benefit from renewable energy, even though the price is increasing every day. Let's look at the reliability aspect of it.
Okay.
If you are looking at the most reliable source of energy, you can count on solar.
Okay.
At least for about 5 to 6 hours a day, when the sun is available, you can be sure that you are going to get energy from sun. And then, so when you now model the system with battery, then you can size the battery to be able to power your load during the day.
Okay.
And also oversize the solar panel to be able to top up your battery for a certain, like a few hours when the sun is no longer available. Like, so if we are modeling system for customers, especially productive customers, we normally model like, okay, if we model like a 5 to 6 hours of sunlight, then we can also model like a 3 to 4 hours of battery. Okay. So we know that 4 plus 6, that is about 10 hours that has covered your productive hours per day. So solar panel sized to be able to power your productivity when the sun is available, and then charge the battery for that can take you or run you for like 4 hours when the sun is no longer available. So any form of energy that you are going to need after 10 hours, then you can now fall back to your generator, or if the grid is available, you can carry on with that.
All right, good one. Now, one of the major problems now that has to do with solar now is onboarding cost. A lot of Nigerians are saying that the onboarding cost is quite expensive. I reached out to someone to see if he can get my apartment service with solar, and the price I am getting for the onboarding cost, not to talk about the solar panel itself and the battery, is quite on the high side. So what's necessarily the cost for that? What's the rationale behind that?
Well, the fact still remains that the initial cost of solar is very, very high.
Okay.
So we normally recommend that for individual customers, like people who just, it is not convenient for somebody to pull out money out of their personal purse to finance solar.
Very true.
You are going to feel it.
Very true.
The weight is going to be very heavy on you.
Exactly.
Now, so that's why we now have a lot of energy access financing partners that can maybe a lot of banks are now financing solar products in order to be able to remove the burden of initial costs that is very heavy. So when somebody is looking to finance solar and they don't have money to cover the initial upfront cost, they can they can liaise with their energy service providers, like what we do in Rubitech and what some other companies do. So they can liaise with energy access providers. Okay, tell them I need this, but I don't have money to finance to pull out to cover the initial upfront cost. So the energy access provider now have partnership with other funding partners. So they can now they can now do a kind of assessment, like the appraiser. If the appraiser simply means that would this person be able to pay if we recommend him to to a solar loan provider. So the solar loan provider can cover the upfront cost while the customer pays back over a certain period of time, 1 year, 2 years, even some companies over up to 5 years of payback period. Okay,
fine. I like that initiative, but I want us to dig deep into it now. But first of all, let me start by asking you, for an apartment, let's say a mini flat now, and then a 2-bedroom flat, and then also a 3-bedroom flat, not talking about the duplex and then other big organization, what is the cost to cover up or to service a mini apartment with the solar energy, then come to a 2-bedroom flat apartment and 3-bedroom flat apartment. Can you give us a total cost from these various apartments? Talking from your experience as from Rubitech now, what's the cost now?
There is no specific cost for an apartment.
All right.
Because it is not the apartment that is being powered.
Okay.
It is the equipment in the apartment that is being powered.
Amazing.
So somebody may have 1-bedroom flat, like a 2-bedroom flat, and then they have equipment that can take up to like a 20 kilowatts of energy, or like take up to like a 30 kilowatts energy. And somebody can have a whole duplex, and maybe they are using few equipment that can only take like a 8 kilowatts. So, but let me just say, okay, for a 2-bedroom apartment, and you just want to power your television, you just want to power your fridge, your ceiling fan, your lighting point, and the rest, I think 5 to 10 kilowatts system should be enough for you to power your basic appliances.
Okay.
And then with 10 kilowatts solar system, you know, solar system also have grades.
Okay.
We have premium products.
All right.
And we have like a grade B products, the like of Indian products, the like of few products that uses like a lead acid and tubular batteries and the rest. So if someone is modeling with tubular battery, lead acid battery with 10 kilowatts, you can maybe averagely, you can be talking of 4.5 to 5 million naira to 6 million naira, depending on the how long you want the system to run. Some may say, okay, I want to have this energy for 24 hours. Of course, the solar panel has to be big enough, and the battery bank also has to be big enough to be able to run them for like a 15 to 18 hours a day.
Okay.
Because solar is only available for 6 hours maximum. In the southwest here, we model like a 5 hours maximum if you want your system to perform optimally.